Hey everybody, it's Ryder Timberlake. We're doing some Elixir programming today. This is part of a series I've been on for a little bit now, which is basically just porting a text adventure game, which was written by my friend Daniel Berlin in 2009 in a Drift interactive fiction kit. It's a really cool little game about the adventures of an 8-year-old inventor. It's pretty short if you want to give it a whirl. It's yeah, I'm wanting to expose it to a larger audience, and at the same time, I'm wanting to continue to get experience building stuff in Elixir and continue to get experience doing test-driven development, which is something I want to transition towards being more the norm for me in my day-to-day workflow, but which is certainly not at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. This is actually my second take on this particular video. I want to be a little bit more slapdash. I'm saying this again, but I want to be a little bit more slapdash and haphazard in the coding today. I just kind of want to jump in and mess around and break some stuff and try and run some things a little bit faster. Yeah, I explained it better the first time around. I guess I'll explain it again. I do have a bit of a reckless streak as a person. One of the things as you go through your life, and hopefully you're learning from the mistakes you're making. And one of the things I've learned is that it's not necessarily healthy to just full on try and repress that streak. But if I'm going to let it out, it should be let out in areas of my life which aren't going to have much in the way of a negative impact on the whole. So one of those being a little toy project for Elixir. Get in, mess some stuff up. What am I doing? I'm not messing up somebody's stuff in prod. I'm not messing up a user's data. I'm not messing up an important relationship in my life. I'm not messing up somebody else's life, right? There's very little in the way of consequences as far as trying to play things a little quick and dirty here. It is a little antithetical in some ways, I guess, to doing things TDD, which is, again, what I want to do with this project. I guess I'm having a little bit of a reaction to, my overall kind of approach to life, which in general tends to be very, things need to be done a certain way, and it can be a little bit inflexible, and it can be a little bit rigid. And I'm just wanting to go kind of loosey-goosey today. Practicing for the bigger things, I guess. I guess that's the more positive way to look at what I'm talking about right now. So we're going to dive right into it. I think we're a couple minutes in already. We've been looking at this. We're trying to look at this and get an idea of where we are, basically. And I think we've done this now. We have a sense of where we are. Oh, I have not pushed, it looks like, recently. Have I? No, this would be also a little bloop like this if I hadn't pushed. I don't think you guys are seeing what I'm saying because I haven't shared my screen. Whoops. Open up CamDesk, which is a really cool little tool. I like it a lot. It's become the, whoa, it's become the norm for me for these videos. I'll just pull that over there. Yep, I'm screen sharing. That's great. I don't know what you mean by present to everyone. Is this new? Has it always been like this? I'm screen sharing. Great. All right. Not going to worry about it. Okay, so yeah, we've looked through this enough, I'd say. We have a sense of what's going on. If we go east here, yeah, no case clause matching, blah, blah, blah. So that's in process command 31 and 43. Let's start getting some stuff working. So we've got VS Code 31 and 43, process command. So I don't remember where you told me it was. We can, whoa. So I'm in RubyMine all the time at work. Well, I guess I'm having a time where I don't know where to go in my editor, and I'm just being stubborn because I don't want to go back and look at the error message and reveal that, a thing that I saw 10 seconds ago, I've already forgotten what it is. Whew. I've been very the last couple of weeks, and I've noticed it's affecting my memory. I'm not sleeping as much. TMI, TMI, TMI. Let's see here. Right. So, oh no, it's the stack trace that I need to be looking at. GMYLM. Okay, so just in the top level GMYLM module is where that process command is. I don't know if it should live there. I sort of would prefer it wouldn't. There's not really a lot that I want to live at that top level module. All right, guys, how did I, there we go. How did I break my thing? A Command Shift F is what yeah, and Command Shift F does this. Wait. No, maybe this is right. If I say initialize locations, which is right there, I'm looking at it in the other pane. Oh, great. So Command Shift F. Yeah. All right, it's just the same. I know how to use my editor. All right, so GMYLM, top level, like 43 or something. Process command, yeah, it's that process command call. So input, so process command is right there, interface controls, input, player, world, and then you're invoking it. What are you invoking in this case? You're invoking east. $31. Oh, there's no matching case statement, right? There's not, because this is so weird. So you remember last week when I was talking about being midway in between implementations, which is bad. All right, let's swing for the fences. Yeah, that's fine. So you're going to return nil here? All right, let's just comment this out for now, because that's the old implementation. Some people might say, hey, it's safer to work back towards the old implementation, which you knew worked, and they're probably right. But we're going to go on ahead towards blazing the trail towards this new implementation, which is this Kernel.apply. So if we get back an OK, a module function name, man, so yeah, you got to actually make it do those things. You can't just say, All right, so this is a little silly, and these are all, okay, so just not exactly necessary, but let's put all these things in. All right, so now these are all lined up. I'm using the hash rocket syntax, I guess, because these are being taken in as strings, and I didn't want to do any kind of type conversion here. So yeah, we're gonna kick back. So everything just needs to look like this. So really, the safest way I would say to do this would be to just make 23 look like 22. Yeah. And then, yeah, and I'm sure you see this pattern here, which is repeated a lot here. You know, this whatever the direction, and then we have here that direction as an atom, and the player, the world, and this move, and everything is the same. And you can say, hey, you could abstract that out. Absolutely, I could extract that out. And maybe I will at some point, and honestly, maybe I won't, because sometimes I'd like to just be able to look at stuff and know what it means. And I am a person who is more than willing to pay the cost of duplication if it makes things clearer. Blah, 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 blah. So I would need to have a really clear idea of what that abstraction looks like and that it's actually getting me something. All right, so we did east. Really, we're just going to load it up and try and go east. And we should now get past that error, to be honest. No case clause matching. We should get a different error if we get an error. Which seems at least, yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's find out if we get an error or not. So gmylm dot start game. Let's go east. No, I didn't recompile. Shoot. Yeah, it's the same error. Recompile. All right, gmylm dot start game. East. Nice. New error. Okay. Oh, that's the world that it got barfed out here. No case clause matching. gmylm player move. What are you expecting? Because that's what I feel like you should be looking for. No, the args are in a list. I'm not sure if that'll fix it. I'm not sure either. And I don't want to be really specific about what those are. Can I just tell you that it's an array, module, function name, and then args? Yeah, and just Kernel.apply. Args. All right, like I said, I was going to be a little reckless today, so let's just get back into it. Recompile. Game. Go east. Same error, I'm guessing. No case clause matching. Move. Oh, because it's, yeah. So in this case, it's, whoa, why are you, no. All right. Yeah, so player move north. Can you show me what that looks like real quick? Because we're not matching here. I'm feeling I know why we're not matching, but I can't quite. Yeah, so move takes a direction, and then a player, and then a world. So, but what are you actually getting here? That's what you seem to be getting, and then the player. So the direction. Wait, what? Module, right? And then the function name, and then the arguments, which are east, gmylm.player, and then the gmylm world. I can tell because this gmylm.world, the list of gmylm.world.events is here. And then it's going to be thrown from, 29 and 41. 29 and in a different file. 29 and 41. All right, so this was not sufficient, this args, and this is going to be a variable number of args. So my invoke with any list of arguments, right dot reverse. Hmm. No, you shouldn't need to close the args in a or should I? I mean, what I want to do is look at the we're going to look at the Elixir docs for Kernel.apply. Uh-huh. 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 Yep. Yeah, there's apply right there. Yep, that's the one I want. And it's not sufficient. So this is whatever, yeah, with the list. So it's a list of arguments. Enum reverse. All right, so let me see some of this. Enum reverse. If I just try to feed it to you like this, presumably you're going to interpret it as me calling reverse with 3 arguments. Reverse 3 is undefined or private, right? So if we schlump it in between these brackets, then you're going to think, and then you're going to do it properly. So what's the problem with the way I'm trying to call this? Module function name args, module function name args. So north player world, yeah. So that looks proper to me. And I can test that out actually by saying apply player, hang on, gmylm.player, and then I'm going to pass it the move, yeah, and then I'm going to pass it the list of arguments, which is going to be east, which is a valid way to go. East, and then player, right, which is going to be gmylm.initialize player and gmylm.initialize world. There's a lot that could go wrong here, like if those are more submoduled, but anyway, we're just going to hit enter and see what happens. So we need to tag the end of that list, and then we've got the closing paren. Initialize player. Yep, that's so they are submoduled, and makes sense. I'm assuming they are in this way, which is an assumption. It looks like I have a missing dot here at the end of. Okay. So that worked. Whoops. That worked, and it's going to give me back a player. So you don't normally start on the playground, right? No, you don't. So this did return a world in which the player is now on the playground. So that totally worked, which is awesome. And I think I've got some tests for that too. which we'll maybe take a look at today, maybe not. I'm trying to be reckless. But it's not being too effective. I'm more or less the same pace as I typically am. I'm just actually writing code this week. So player move, east player world. So this is a problem with our recognition. Well, that's because you're not returning a status code. Oh my gosh. Do you want to put status codes at the front of all of these? I mean, that's kind of the convention you're following. Let's just do it. All right. Sure. Now I'm thinking, let's find out what happens. So the change I just made, right, on 22 and 23, I've added a status code because, yeah, that's something I should have noticed. I was going to say I should have noticed it sooner, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm expecting a tuple with an OK status code at the beginning, and I was just actually kicking back the module function name and args, this little tuple here. But it's expecting a nested tuple. It's expecting a nested tuple. Well, that's not what I'm giving it now either. Wait a second. All right, so this is not going to work, what I was just about to do. It's still going to give me the same error. Recompile gomylm. Whoa, cool. gomylm.startGame east. Whoops. Darn. East. Yep, same error. No function clause matching or no case clause matching. Yep. That's actually a pretty good error. Because it does tell us that it's in the case statement that the problem is, and it gives us the line numbers, so that's great. So yeah, this is not going to work either because we're actually expecting back a nested tuple. So just in the interest of getting it working, and we can revisit this later, what if you just expected back a tuple? Oh my gosh, shocking. So there's this issue that, you know, status code and conventions and blah, 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 but like, seriously, gosh, I was supposed to be ballsy today. Recompile, gomylm, that start game, and east. This has been broken for so long. All right, sweet. All right, that's great. So I don't know with this. I'm going to comment this out, which begs the question, why do we even have a case statement? Don't care. We're being reckless today. But we're needing to get some coverage here because the coverage is not there. So let's just make everything look like this. All right. Okay, if you were just listening to me rather than watching, I am just going in the that does still seem correct. So I'm just changing everything to this new awesome implementation that I learned from Steve Grossi using Kernel.apply, which is going to make this so much easier to test. And I've spoken in other episodes about why this makes it so much easier to test. If you've done this kind of thing before, then you already know. And there'll be a chance to talk more about it later. If you're on the chat, of course, just ask a question and I will do my best to answer. gomylm, game loop, player, world, victory. Quit. Yeah, that seems fine. That seems like what I want. Oh, this is so cool. You're going to call invalid command, which is right here, and pass it an empty list because it doesn't take any arguments. And I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Wait. Dot get input. Right. You're just doing a map.get on the input. So you're looking for north n, you'll look for that. Oh, you know what? You can just do that here, buddy. We were just talking about this, but and interpolate that input. You're changing too many things at once. Yeah, well, I said I was going to be ballsy. So basically, I'm just going to test it with east, and then I can check these other things. Yeah, cool. Well, that's not working at the moment. Why not? I feel like it should. Are you giving me the no function clause matching in the game loop? So is that... maybe I changed the implementation. Yeah, that suggests you actually called game loop and you didn't... Right, you tried to call game loop and you didn't find a match for it. That's what that says to me. So I think I must have changed the game loop implementation to where passing it this list of arguments on 29, this player world and then a string of victory, is no longer valid. So let's recompile because we want to test the changes we just made. Start game. All right, let's go east. No match of right-hand side value. That's not something you can do in the game loop. Oh. Feel like, yeah. You need to make this a tuple and have it be like an error or something. Right, yes, you do need to do that. Still might not be a match for it. I just don't want to go and look right now. I'm being reckless. Recompile. Start game. East. All right, there's still no match for that. But we know we're getting our new implementation, which is nice. East. Oh, no, that's not the way to do that. So the input comes with the /n. So you would actually... Now the input already comes with the /n. Well, how do you mutate the input? Are you really talking to me about mutating the input in Elixir right now? Yeah. Input minus Dude, this is the worst. You're the worst right now. Input. Why would you think that would work? Let's see. No. String.sub input I thing. You're just flailing right now. Why don't you not worry about the things that don't matter at all and just stick with this /n implementation for now? All right, that's fine. Thought I saw a way to get around it, but I misunderstood the problem space. So recompile. Let's just make sure we unbroke that again. East. Whoa. Why is your east not working? Oh my gosh. Somebody already saw this on 30 and was screaming at me, and I apologize. So yeah, I was going and looking in this controls map for an input string, and if I had found it, I would have gotten it to do a thing. In fact, I can unbreak this right now by adding an input thing here and saying, oh, Harley Gersh, what you do, which is going to, because we're going to try and call Kernel.apply on it. So it's going to say there's no matching clause for Kernel.apply from 30, that, starting from 30 and then going to the Kernel.apply, which is getting called in our process command function at the top level, gmylm. No, I think at the top level, gmylm. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting, is that what I just said. Recompile. Oh, you can't compile. Syntax error before input. Oh, because I didn't add a comma on 29. I added that new key to the map. Key value pair to the map. All right, gmylm.start game. East. Holy Gersh, what'd you do? All right, let's get rid of this nonsense. So I know I said I was going to be reckless today, but one thing I like to do when I'm programming, and I like to carve out time for, and I like to really okay, forget about deadlines. As long as I have time, let's continue to flesh out my understanding, because if you're just doing things, this is my opinion, and take it with a grain of salt coming from someone who's relatively new to the industry. If you are just operating like you're on fire and you don't take time to really generate some real understanding of what you're working with and be able to create expectations on the fly, create testing conditions to affirm or refute those expectations, and really let the guts of whatever tools you're working with get into your heart, you're not going to grow as an engineer. That is, I don't know if a death sentence is too strong a word, but you're not setting yourself up for success, and you are setting yourself up for much more unpleasant settings, I would say. Work environment, just overall situation is going to be much worse because you're not carving out that time for yourself to expand your understanding and let it really get into your guts. So some people would have seen that playing around with the input here to test that expectation that I had of what it was that was going on, and really shore up my understanding and make it stronger. Would see it as a complete waste of time, but I don't. Even on the day I'm ostensibly being reckless. But we've actually gotten some code written, so I consider that a success. So now we've changed that input string back to an actual input that we're taking in. We make the controls call here as the first positional argument, and we will recompile. And my expectation is that when we say east, it's going to do the right thing here after I say gmylem.start game to kick up the world. East, yes. West, yes. West. Wait a minute. Something very strange is going on. Oh, somebody probably saw that earlier too, but that's really funny. Wait, am I just going east forever? Why is it not throwing an error? It's just re-looking every time. That to me is not expected behavior, but then again, I don't really know what my logic is doing. I've been off this project so long. I'm just starting to figure those things out again. All right, I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I am going to worry about actually making these things go in the right direction. And my expectation is that once I've put all these things here, I should be able to navigate the game world, which I think at this point is more or less complete. So up, down, west, south, east, north. Quit. Yep. Super cool. Let's recompile and do it. Oh, sorry. Recompile and do it. gmylem.start game. Now, I don't quite like, honestly, how this renders, but I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out later. Yeah, and some of these data things need to get worked out that I just pulled over directly from the game data, and then they're referencing, like, this is their way of referencing some variable that they've got in memory. So cool. Well, this has been awesome. So we unbroke. I'm so relieved. We unbroke the game. So perfect TDD flow. Yes, we would have written tests. Well, yeah, but our tests, none of our tests actually call the game loop right now, which is not acceptable, and that's why we can run the tests and get. Oops, sorry. We can run. Oh, Control C. All right. That's why we can run MT. Whoa, 3 failures. Interesting. Awesome. All right, so my tests actually do something. Well, I mean, I know they do a lot of things, but this is one thing. So my next step, or one of them very soon, is going to be just like an integration style, like spin up a game world and walk the player around, and maybe pick some stuff up. But there aren't really enough objects in the game world, right? But maybe pick some stuff up. Even so, I mean, basically, I want one element of this test suite, and it's not going to run every time probably, although it could, because it's probably crazy and expensive to run it when the game is as simple as this, and the operations are so inexpensive. But yeah, just that spins up the world, has the player walk around, grabbing stuff, doing stuff. Essentially, I would love to have it where he actually goes through a playthrough, and I would love it actually, honestly, if it was a randomized playthrough every time. And if there's any kind of change or you get into an unwinnable state, um, because of the order you do certain actions in or whatever, that's a really serious problem, and that should not be the case. Um, Again, we're building up our test coverage from the fundamental units, which is going to help a lot. And we're doing mostly TDD for this game, which is going to also help a lot. I did not do TDD for the game loop because I couldn't figure out how to test it. But I think I'm in a much better position for how to do that now. So what did we do? We got in, we got reckless, we fixed the game. Great, yay. So I think I'm going to call it quits for today. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, where we will get in and do some testing, I think.